the combined law has the starting pressure and the starting volume over the starting temperature, starting pressure, starting volume over starting temperature, equal to the final pressure, the final volume over the final temperature. It's general layout for the combined gas law. Now, this first question that we have here, this first example, this is a very basic kind of standard question. Now, to look at this, first off, you can tell this is the combined law because you've got two sets of milliliters, two sets of ATMs. This is definitely combined because you've got two sets of data. So you've got two sets of data. Okay, and this means that you're definitely going to be using the combined law. Now, the combined law again is P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. And you should write these down as you start because you're going to need to know that. We're going to identify what each of these things are. So we can take a look. This thing here, the gas is at this. This is my T1. This is then my V1 because it's connected. And this is my P1, which means this is my V2. This is my P2. And we are looking for T2. So T2 is going to stay unwritten down. So our P1 is 1 ATM. Times our V1 of 300 milliliters over our 273 kelvins, which you can have the degrees or not, either or. That is equal to P2, which is 2 ATM, times our V2, which is 200 milliliters, over our T2, which we don't know what it is, so I'm just going to leave it there as the variable. Pro tip, you can now go, okay, I've got ATMs to ATMs, milliliter to milliliter, so all those units will cancel and match, which means I have Kelvin to what? Kelvin. So right away, you should be able to figure out what your missing unit is, and all the other units will cancel and go away. This allows us to kind of simplify what we've got. So 1 times 300 is 300, because again, we don't care about units anymore, over 273 is equal to 400 over T2. Now at this point what we want to do is we want to cross multiply. Cross multiplying happens whenever you've got what you want on the bottom basically. So if I want T2 on the bottom, it's best to just multiply this together. And that means I will have 300 T2, and that will be equal to the other thing that I multiply, which will be the 400 times 273. So I'll pull my calculator out. I'll do that. 400 times 273. It's going to be a big old number, but that's okay. And that's going to be 109,200. Okay. Right off my calculator. Alright, so we need to get T2 alone. So what we are going to do is we're just going to finish doing our algebra. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to divide both sides by 300. So I'll take this side, divide by 300, this side, divide by 300, and I should be able to get my answer. And my answer is 364. And I found the units earlier as Kelvin, so I put a box around it, and I'm done. Combined law. Typically fairly easy. Notice my trick with the units. That's how you want to do that.